Welcome, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, featured right here on the TNI Network. This is Trent, along with my co-hosts, J-Bone and Bill, and this is the Time Machine Tuesday, NWA-TNA throwback number 66. My God, 66. I got to address right away. Mark is not here. I just got to put that out there. He's in the chat, and he is pissed. He's hot. He's hot. He's almost as hot as the angle they're shooting on this episode, Bill, but he's pretty upset. So if you guys see Mark in the chat, Mark World Order is in the chat, and he is not happy.
This is a bunch of crap. This just sucks.
That's exactly what Mark is saying in the chat right now. So console him. Just to put it out there real quick, Impact Plus is still giving Mark a ton of problems. If anyone else is having problems, I'd like to know, because I'm still like, we end up being on the hunt, right, guys? We had people tag us, and I just kind of try to pinpoint what, who's having what problem, And
I'll say what, because I had issues last week trying to get on a desktop PC.
You did, okay.
And I tried the same thing again, and I did have the issue. It was a different issue, but it was just like a broken link page when I used the IMPACTPlus.tv, the link I've used forever. And that wasn't working. So I went to IMPACTWRESTLING.com and then clicked on Impact Plus while on IMPACTWRESTLING.com, and it worked for me on my PC. So if someone's having that, could be an issue too. If like you have a bookmark link, forget that link. Just go to IMPACTWRESTLING.com and log in through there.
Okay. Well, Mark, if you're in there, give it a shot while we're talking right now. See what happens. I'm curious if that's if it's the link, if you go and you convert over. I don't know. I hate doing this without Mark because he loves doing throwback. It's killing me that it's still giving him problems, But we're here, guys. J-Bone, how you doing? J-Bone's wearing a red bandana.
Oh, I wonder why, brother.
I'm matching. I'm matching the shirt. Yeah.
A Motley Crue day for you, J-Bone.
Screwing it up. Yeah.
What is your favorite Motley Crue album, J-Bone?
Oh, that's a tough one. It changes on the day. No, honestly, I think my favorite is what I gotta go with. What I fell in love with them in the first place, and it's probably one of the more controversial ones that people crap on, unfortunately, as Motley Crue fans. But I'll say Theater of Pain.
Well, I just had this debate with somebody the other day. Me and Danny Daniels talked about this. We actually argued about it, and I said that it's my least favorite one. And he's like, well, it's got Home Sweet Home. I go, yeah, and he's like, well, Smoke in the Boys Room. I'm like, well, that's the cover. What else you got? And I'm like, nothing. But I'm like, what's a great one is their first album. The debut, Too Fast for Love, is a great album, J-Bone.
Oh, that's the thing is they're all so different.
None
of them sounded the same.
It's true.
I mean, the first one sounds real punk, real raw. The next one is got more effects on it. They start experimenting with some stuff, but it's really heavy.
Yeah.
Smoke in the Boys Room got super glam, and they shit on Theater of Pain because the production is just horrible. Even the remaster
sounds like early TNA.
Oh, hey, this is coming from Bill. Bill, you a Motley Crue guy, Bill? I imagine you've seen him at least once in concert.
I've actually seen. I guess it was the summer before the pandemic, so 19. Vince Neil did a solo in my town. He did it in they have a summer series, My Town, where they bring in some bands and stuff. Yeah, and it was Lita Ford opening up with Vince Neil as the headliner. So it was a good show.
Woo! I love Lita Ford.
Dave's a big Crue guy.
Is he?
He's seen him a ton of times, so he came to that too. But I was able to walk to the show.
Oh, that close? Like
close.
Summertime thing? Oh, wow.
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah.
cool.
The park, the downtown park's walking distance for me.
Oh, that's cool. Shit.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice. That's neat, man. Very nice. I'm a big Motley Crue guy. I've seen him, I gotta say, at least 6 times. And various tours.
Probably just between them and Warrant, I've seen, as far as bands, I've seen that those 2 bands the most.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they're a great show.
Amount of times.
They're a great show. They're a great show.
I've seen the Chicago band probably the most times.
Oh man, yeah.
That was heavy. That was heavy in my heyday, and then I continued to see them all these years. They were new back in the 90s, late 90s alternative.
Who's that? I'm sorry, my thing cut out for a second.
Local H.
Oh, Local H, yeah, Chicago band,
yeah. They play around here a lot, yeah.
They
they're always touring. I don't think they never stopped touring every
Never.
year for probably 30 years.
are they still a two-piece? They're still doing two-piece.
They've always been a two-piece.
Yeah.
The drummers changed throughout the years. It was initially Joe Daniels, then it was a couple different guys. Then they actually brought back. They redid. They did a tour. I went up to New York to see it. The As Good as Dead tour. They actually did the whole album with Joe Daniels. They brought him back to do that. Even though they had the other drummer play, then they did the whole album. Then they did another set of other songs with the new drummer.
That's funny. Joe's a black dude, right? That's I remember. Yeah, I met them both because I live right by the Metro, Chicago. That's where they started. And they're definitely Chicago. They're actually from Zion, Illinois, which is way near J-Bone, actually, like border Illinois, Wisconsin border. But As Good as Dead is my favorite album by. That's a great record. That was their breakthrough one too, right? That was like the one that crossed over. I remember 97, I want to say.
Probably about 97. That sounds right.
I was working at Best Buy at the time. I remember buying it. Go ahead, J-Bone.
Oh, I was just gonna say they were kind of, that was when grunge was like at its peak, mid to late 90s ish.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. I haven't listened to that album in a long time. I should throw it on. But man, there's Eddie Vedder, right? I was on that album.
Oh yeah.
Classic stuff, man. But no, going back to Crew real quick. I love Fretz in the chat said he's like, here's a hot take. Generation Swine's his favorite album. That was the comeback. Remember that one, J-Bo, in 97?
97. That was when Vince we'll get to the review in a minute. This is just fun, just shitting around with music stuff. But yeah, I actually saw them on that tour at what is, I think they still call it, some of us old farts still call it the Mecca Arena.
Yeah.
And that was a real raw alternative sounding album. The concert was great. It was real, just there was like a giant sheet in the background. They just kept throwing videos up on it. A little bit of pyro. Not the usual stuff. It was pretty stripped down show.
Was that 99, Jay?
Yeah, it was 97.
Oh, nice. I'm sorry. I went and saw him. I'll tell you a funny one I saw. I went and saw him in 99, and it was dubbed the Get Vince Out of Debt tour, because that's when all the lawsuits started hitting him. And they did a club tour, small arenas only. Like over here, they played the Aragon Ballroom, which is where ECW did.
Like theaters.
Yeah.
They did Riverside here in 99. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the tour, right? And
Greatest Hits. Yeah,
it's the one. It was the Greatest Hits tour. And I was set to go with this girl that I was like seeing at the time. I mean, gorgeous girl. I was like all set, gonna take her to Motley Crue. Like, I got this. And then she stood me up. That lousy, no good, just heathen. She stood me up for Motley Crue. So I'm all pissed off, right? I'm all upset. But I'm going to see the Crew. I said, fine. Now here, being 5'7.5", it's easy to weasel in to the front. So it's a standing room thing. I weaseled right in. Up to I'm right at the stage. I forgot all about the lady I was going with. I'm right up front, Bill, and they're big interactors. I mean, I'm high-fiving Tommy and Vince and Nikki and Mick doesn't touch anybody, but all the other ones, I'm having a great time. Here's the kicker though. I got this amazing Shout the Devil t-shirt, one of those baseball tees, old throwback looking, looked like it was right out of 86, awesome bootleg shirt right outside. Loved it. Loved that shirt. Look, it was such a cool shirt. The goddamn ex-wife, Bill.
Oh,
I let her work. I was that skinny at one time. She was a skinny little. I was still a skinny guy in 99. Fit in that shirt. She's like, "Oh, can I wear this?" I'm like, "Sure, huh? No problem." You know what? I got a photo of her in it. I never saw the goddamn shirt again.
I can feel you on this one. I lost one of my original 80s hot rod ringer shirt.
The ringer shirt. That's what it is. Yeah, the ringer shirts. The baseball tee ringer shirt. Yeah. It kills you when you lose it to a girl. Like, come on, you don't even like them that much. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Crazy.
Love them. Great show. If you guys, I think they're going to do another loop around, right? They're coming back this summer here. I know that with Def
They
Leppard.
were scheduled to do it last year, so I just assume it got moved to this year.
Yeah, they confirmed it here, Wrigley Field in Chicago. So it's happening.
The Miller, well, now it's the Amphitheater Stadium, or what the hell is it called? Oh, American Family Stadium Park thing, whatever the fuck they called it now. It used to be Miller Park.
Yeah. Wait, they changed the name of Miller Park?
They changed. Yeah, it's not Miller Park anymore. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah.
It's my favorite baseball arena I've ever been to. I love Miller Park. I think it was such a good baseball stadium. That's crazy.
It's great. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
And just keep having Bernie go down the slide.
It made national news about this tour because that date for the Motley Crue date that was supposed to be last summer sold out in a day.
Yeah, and it's not cheap.
And that's unheard of in rock and roll tours now that kind of shit happens.
Well, the thing here, what got everybody hot was they're playing Wrigley, which is in a really nice neighborhood, and now it's like all the real metal fans can't go because all the rich folks from the suburbs are buying the tickets, who want to rock out with Motley Crue. I love that home song, like those kind of guys. So they're all going to Wrigley, and the ticket prices were astronomical. I saw Motley as cheap as $27 at the amphitheater way out west, but so it's a different story. But they just lifted mask mandates for outside and all that, so the concerts are back on, gentlemen. We're back to business.
Well, unless you're with a lot of people.
Yeah, well, there we go. Now they get the loopholes there. Forget that. Everybody's just ripping them off, man. They're just fucking.
I'm just gonna hide under the bleachers. That's my thing.
Ooh, Mark's saying.
Mark's in town by you. There he goes.
Yeah, New Order Pet Shop Boys in late September. I may have to attend that show depending on that date.
New Order's a rare tour. Mark's gonna be here in August and by you in September. How about look at Mark traveling, huh? Look at this guy.
He's a traveling man.
I'm waiting for the bucket list ultimate tour of Duran Duran and Depeche Mode.
Ooh. That's a big one too. If that happened that also happened in 97. I remember when that happened. 99. That's a big one in 99 when that happened. I'll never forget that because I was at a club out here after the show. I didn't go to the concert. I was at a bar in Lincoln Park, Chicago, and Depeche Mode walked in for the after party, and we had no idea they were coming. They just showed up to this bar. It was a new wave bar.
Wow.
And they showed up. We're like, I'm like, we're there anyway. We're hanging out, and Depeche Mode walks in. We're like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, that's pretty cool. So Mark has seen Depeche Mode 12 times. That is pretty awesome. Wow.
That's Lakers 12 times up there.
Mark it down. Lakers' birthday is May 22nd. Lakers, I want you to swear like you've never sworn before on that birthday.
You know what? I just gotta bring back.
That's a Saturday too.
I gotta bring back the jacked up jukebox and
this was in lieu of the jacked up music shit.
That's what this was. This was a jacked up jukebox mini episode. J-Bone, feel free to clip this, put it on the jacked up jukebox, and say this is the kind of content you'll get.
There we go.
All right, guys.
Now I'm getting itched to bring it back.
We'll do it. Let's jump into this.
Gave him the itch.
They gave him the itch. You could see a doctor for that, Jay. But let's jump. So October 15th, I believe this was 03. This was the fall time. We're about a year and 4 months into TNA at this point, so we're rolling here. We're rocking and rolling. Wednesday night pay-per-view. Now I was on my buddy Dave's couch, forked over my $5. He forked over his $5. We got some Chinese food because it's the fall. Got some Chinese food. Got ready to watch some TNA. Bill, what's going on in your side of the world there? October 15th.
October 15th. Like I said, I was in the throes of looking for a new job. I was working somewhere, but was wanting to get out, so I was busy doing that. Unlike last week, where I had an actual application response that day.
Oh, that's right.
This was there was probably a slow week. A slow week probably still meant I probably sent 10 out that day. But since we are in the Halloween time, and I know Mark's big with the Halloween too, very good chance I was doing something because now we're getting real close to Halloween.
We are close.
So I even could have been at maybe like Dorney Park, an amusement park near me, doing the Halloween festivities.
Oh, okay.
Because they were doing them. At that point, they're doing them during the week, not just weekends at that point. So there's a good chance I could have been there, maybe even Great Adventure in Jersey, or maybe something more local. But if not that night, in the next day, that Thursday, Friday, I'm sure that's what I was doing.
Is Great Adventure part of the Six Flags family?
Yes, that is a Six Flags.
I am a Six Flags Diamond Elite member, Bill. I'll see you out there this year at some point. We'll go.
Yes, I have been season or annual pass holders for 3 theme parks in my life.
Oh, beautiful. I love it.
Local. Well, and then Six Flags, it's not as local. Dorney's 20-25 minutes away. That's about an hour and 10 minutes away. Okay. But then also, obviously, I got Universal Orlando.
You're down there enough, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, I had to do it during all those TNA runs.
Hey, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. J-Bone just turned about 58 years old, so we're gonna skip J-Bone here. You know, he's experiencing some age crisis. So guys, I'm gonna let him off the hook because it's been a little rough coming to terms with his age. So,
okay, Boomer.
You're off the hook today, Bone. You're off the hook today. We get a recap, guys. Kick this off. Number of 65, which was a long recap. Am I crazy or this thing last 5 minutes?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if it hit 5, but it was a strong 4.
I was like, what? I'm like, all right, guys. I mean, we saw it,
and I wanted to forget that episode.
I know that was the thing. That's what killed me about it. I was like, that was not memorable enough to give me a 4-minute recap on. No way. So we go to now. This is the big thing. They cut the clips right away. TNA is showing clips of the Hogan match in the Tokyo Dome against Chono.
Well, he's showing newspaper.
I'm sorry.
And actually close-ups on no newspapers.
Yeah, that's right.
They're not even like still image photographs. Here's a zoom in of this newspaper.
Of the newspaper itself.
That Jeff Jarrett brought back or something.
Right. Which is probably what happened. Now the interesting thing is this. It's just a couple days prior. Because this is October 15th. That stuff all happened on the 13th. So that means that's the 14th paper that he's got. And Jarrett flew overnight to be at the asylum. Credit to Jarrett here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of travel. But one thing I like here, you catch this? They mention about Chono being a former NWA world champion. So just
which I'm the glad. Importance. That's key.
That is key. Because remember, those
TNA was there, right? When that happened, probably.
No, because that was that lost year period where it was like Mike Rapata and Chris Candido held it in there, and Dan Severn held it in there. Like there was all these guys in this little block that just kind of get forgotten. Like the Colorado kid, Mike Rapata, is a 3-time NWA champion. Has anybody heard of him? No. I didn't think so.
I guess Chono. Yeah, he goes. Yeah, obviously Muda held it during that earlier time. But I guess Chono never did. I almost feel like he did since Chono was such a big name.
Chono
I guess he didn't hold it till later.
Till later. It was like during the lost period. So, but he mentions it, which I like. And they show the video. If I can, Bill, do you remember how big this was when this happened? Like when this Hogan getting attacked in Japan thing was?
Now they don't show the video yet.
I thought, video later. I'm sorry, I wrote down video later.
They give a long tease.
That's right. I did write down video.
But I got to point out here that this might be the comment of the night.
All right.
Because I just for me, if it's what I think the reference is, I turned 37 last week in a row. We also have a fellow Clerks fan in the house, Mr.
I like it. I like it, Fred. Very nice. That's a great reference. I love that. I love that movie a lot.
Wait, am I 36 or am I 37?
That's right. I'm 37. I love the part where he yells at her when she's leaving and he stops. Hey, where are you going? Get over here. Awesome. Good reference. But yes, they tease it out for the video. But that video, and we'll talk about when it airs. But man, when this happened, Jay, I wish I could explain to you how big this was. I mean, remember, infancy of the internet, here in ways. Some infancy, no Twitter. The word is not traveling as fast. So when shit like this is going on, it's going on. It's a big deal. I mean, ask Jay Law. You watch it for the first time.
Yeah.
How does it strike you though? Like Jarrett literally flying over a day to go do this and back and crazy shit.
Well, I remember the first time I saw this footage was on that penny pay-per-view
Oh yeah.
that they did like within the next half year, like right before they did what was the Victory Road, the Jeff versus
Yeah,
Jeff,
that was
and
the
then they
first
and then it
real
went
first
to
one.
and then they did the first year on Fox Sports.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the penny pay-per-view was shortly before that. And they included some of that footage during it. Footage. I'm like German or something all of a sudden. Wait, I am German. Never mind. I don't know what the hell accent that was. I think part of my face had a stroke or something. No, the footage is so unique, and I remember seeing it like, wait a minute, when did this happen? What, where's the rest of it? Like, what became of this?
Yeah.
And now, almost 20 years later, we're discussing it, and I'm learning the whole what could have been, what was supposed to happen back then,
Yeah.
and the story behind all of it. And I think this is just fascinating.
The Bound for Glory thing still is wigging me out because I didn't remember any of that. And knowing what Bound for Glory is today, it's like, that's crazy because it doesn't happen until 2 years later. That's the crazy part. The actual first Bound for Glory, which is when was it Rhino's title win? First Bound for Glory? I believe that's what Rhino's title win.
Yeah.
But just Rhino or Raven, I'm blanking. Somebody.
Here's what I would compare it to today as far as international stuff happening and stuff making headlines is when Jericho.
Yes. Yeah, I think the same thing.
When Jericho showed up in New Japan.
Yeah.
That video played and he ripped up the Kenny Omega pinup.
It's got that vibe because he did it like it was one of those surprise things.
Well, you're talking about Hogan over in the Tokyo Dome?
Yes.
You got to remember that was more common back then, even though it had been 10 years.
No, I mean, like the attack on Hogan and like the blow up of the news is what
nobody saw it.
They're telling us it's a blow up of the news. I don't remember hearing much about it.
Now, I remember when this happened, it was a big deal. But I'll tell you what, the thing that's interesting is I remember this part though. As I was watching, it all came back to me. There was only like a handful of people in on it too. Like that press, obviously nobody knew press wise, and they didn't know what was happening. So that was a shock. Like New Japan was in on it, obviously Jimmy, Hogan, Jarrett, and then Chono knew, obviously, but a couple like the New Japan folks, but the press didn't know. That's why it was treated the way it was treated. Because word did travel pretty well. It was interesting.
But did anybody know until this pay-per-view that it was connected to TNA? Maybe, but it never winds up being.
It never happens. They sell it like crazy. Over the next few weeks, you're going to see it like crazy. But keep in mind, it also it made its rounds on like all the message boards was the big thing. Obviously, the message board was where it was at.
That's what was going on back. Yeah.
And Paul saying a great thing. He's absolutely right. The company should have brought this up when he came in 2010. They never mentioned this, but it is on the highlight. Some of those highlight compilations. It's a weird thing. They never go back to this. But there's a New Japan connection, you know.
We briefly touched on that last week and said, well, they couldn't because Jarrett wasn't even around then. It was all Dixie.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think Paul sent something. Paul sent me something last week that Jarrett actually was around at the time. He was there. Paul found a clip and he sent it to me on Twitter.
Oh, was he?
He was there.
See, I thought he was gone by then.
That's what I thought. But Paul found something to show that Jarrett was there. So, Paul, if you wanted to share the link in here, that'd be great too. But Armand saying they mentioned it during the MSG presser. Maybe. I don't know. See, that now I got to go back and watch all that shit, Bill. 2010. We got to go back to 2010 now.
Oh, like when Hogan was in the presser
with Dixie and Bischoff. Oh, so if they mention it there, now that's interesting. That's got me thinking. So, guys, we'll see. This is fun. This is really cool that they kind of open this can of worms again. Don West, though, is electric blue on blue, by the
Yes.
way. Look, it's sharp.
One of
Real
his favorites, I think.
Yeah, that is one of his go-tos for sure.
Don is sexy.
They get to Hudson outside. Wait a minute. Scott Hudson is outside and he's caught up with Raven. And Raven's dragging Jim Mitchell by a chain.
Yeah, we go to footage of him being dragged by a chain. And Hudson first has to say, "This is Scott Hudson," as opposed to just reacting to what's going like, "Oh my God." He's like, "Just for you know, I'm Scott Hudson."
Raven's looking for
today did not tell it.
Yeah, exactly. Now Raven's going to hang Mitchell, and he's about to do it, but then Vampiro and Slash come out and they put Raven through a table, but then the Gathering makes the save. So this is probably the hottest feud really in the company right now. It's surpassing the world title feud. I think this is like it because it's
for tonight it is because it's going to main event, which is I was surprised by.
I was too because I felt like the main event. I didn't think that was the main event. I was like, oh wait, that was it. I'm like, oh yeah, we're at time.
You could say if you want to say the angle is the main event, but
the match.
I don't know.
Yeah, the match was not main event caliber to me. That's for
it was
sure.
not. No, like this is if you look at it as main event match, very well could be the most lackluster looking on paper main event in pay-per-view history up to this point.
On paper, absolutely, you're right.
Wait,
after last week's show, this has me worried to start the
show. Wait, are you talking about the main event they were supposed to have as opposed to what happened, or?
Well, main event were they supposed to have?
Yeah,
they were supposed to have Raven versus Slash.
Oh, I missed that.
Raven got hurt. Like you say, showing the promo later, in which the audio cuts out for some reason.
Yeah, it does.
And
there's a lot of audio difficulties on this show.
There is again.
Raven's like choking and he's dying and stuff. And they're like, well, we can't have this because of blah, 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 blah. So we're going to have, what was it? Slash and Vampiro versus Julio De Niro and Punk.
Oh, that's what they were saying there. Okay, I missed that. I totally missed if that's the case.
Because I actually really liked the main event match. And then,
did you?
Of course, yeah, I really did.
Yeah,
I'm really.
I guess today you can revisionist because you say CM Punk's on the main event, but at the time CM Punk was a jabroni.
He was a jabroni.
He was, but I'm fascinated as to what he was doing and how much he was doing in this company back then.
Yeah,
plus
it's the CM Punk thing. It's CM Punk. Oh, Vampiro, come on, J-Bone. He has mailed this in.
He's this entire run with Vamp. The look has always been his thing, but man,
I felt like this one was better than last week. I know what you're saying.
Well, he had a better look in this episode for sure.
Because this
he looked like Vampiro and not whatever version we've seen the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
very true.
He actually misted one of the guys, and this was an actual match this time instead of just a run in and doing whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah.
He took a little more pride in this one.
A little bit. We go to Russo in the back, Russo and AJ in the back with Hudson. And Russo just tells AJ, stay out of my business tonight. I got something planned. Just leave me alone. Let me do what I got to do tonight. So there's tension in the Russo camp. I think he was drunk again. Like last week, he was hammered. He's probably hammered this week.
Well, yeah, it's really awkward.
It is very awkward.
They're like, well, what does he got going on?
These last two are just this last week and this one are just not. They're on a weird trajectory. These are weird, but we go to a match. Ekmo, Siaki, and Legend with Trinity taking on America's Most Wanted, who come out to the old music again. No consistency. Old music again on this. Not the guilt. Sometimes it's the guilty song. Sometimes it's the old one. I don't know what the sound guys think. It's like, which button's closer? A&W with Dusty in their corner. Am I alone, Bill? A little messy, but they kind of cleaned it up towards the end on this one. That's what I wrote.
Yeah. Like it was. It was not a clean match for sure. It has a nice ending, which I have a tendency to be critical of a lot of the finishes in this era, and at least they had a decent finish. Agree with it or don't agree with it. It was clean. which is nice to see. And you get AMW, who they're always pushing, with Dusty, who's still over with the crowd, so it makes sense to have that. But yeah, during the match though, it was not pleasant at a lot of spots.
A little clunky. Go ahead, J-Bone.
I was gonna say, because we talked about last week how the crowd really was not into Dusty when he showed up for that main event.
Yeah.
Here they popped like crazy. Now, is this the same crowd as last week? Is this a part 2 taping, or is this a new taping? Because the crowd was radically different.
It has to be because of the Jeff Jarrett in Japan thing, right?
Yeah, it's a fresh one altogether. Yeah, this is a fresh. They were going live every week, except for a couple of times they had to double up because there were some overlaps due to like holidays and stuff.
Okay.
So they were live every week. It was local enough that they kept it live, but only when there was a holiday issue that they have to overlap stuff. Like even if the holiday was going to be a Monday, they get just for the sake of letting people have stretches, things like that. They would just double up sometimes, but it wasn't common.
The crowd was much more into what was going on. Not
active
like,
crowd.
Oh, I'm just here for myself. And
well, I'll tell you, I think I might know a trick to this, and I think it could be the man that the bell was created for, Double J Jeff Jarrett, and he came out once again, addresses any fan that boos him. He's like, "Oh, you wait till I talk." Like the worst heel in the business ever. So the crowd wants to cheer anybody other than Jeff Jarrett at this point. So it's almost like everyone's getting cheap pop right now.
That's a good take. Because they spent a lot. Well, we'll get to this too, but they spent a lot of focus on the Hogan thing and start bumping away the AJ thing. So I think the crowd's already sensing
that's
it
the
too.
thing. Yeah, because you get Hogan chants throughout the night now. Now
you do all night.
Oh,
That's Hogan chants.
Yeah,
especially at the end. It was at the end that whole damn crowd was chanting.
Hogan's overshadowing, and he's not even there, and he doesn't even show up for 5 to 6 years.
Exactly 7 years. It is over 7 more years.
Oh yeah, 7 years at this point.
70. Wow, that's nuts. So we'll see. But in this one here, let's see where we go here. Yeah. So death sentence for the win. A little messy, cleaned up at the end. AMW wins. We go to a franchise paid ad. It's him still looking for his new franchise, but he's got 2 chicks. And all you see is
I believe they were the cage dancers tonight.
I think you're right. I think because they're already there. You're already paying them here. So but you only see about chest down. He's like, I got a couple here, and it looks like they got stacked resumes.
Creepy shades at all time.
The stacked qualifications, yeah.
I loved it. I love it. But he's still on the hunt for a new franchise. So he's out of that new church thing. Like that's it. He's done. He's gone from that feud. The Raven thing, they just shut that out of the way with him. But so he's doing his thing. We go to Scott Hudson with Michael Shane. He's got the belt and the trophy at this point. I wrote down great promo. I think Shane cut a good promo here. He looks strong. Go ahead, Bill. I think he's a forgotten X Division champ. This guy never gets enough credit. I swear.
Yeah, like I didn't take like any specific things.
No,
he just talks about beating Christopher Daniels, and then when he does, that's the competition. Like he's the top of the food chain pretty much in the X Division. He's giving off a solid, confident promo.
He is
without being cocky, like a little cocky, but more confident. So for him, though, this is the most I think he's ever given off. It's as true. A personality.
And for a guy, Jay, that nobody really knew at all, like he had not an indie darling, not from another company.
Only Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, only the loose connection at Shawn Michaels. Not a bad talent. Like this guy's got something, and they really invested in him pretty early, man.
Early. they really gave him a shot quick. Pete, I wrote down here as far as the promo said he wanted a parade, but he got a fallen angel.
Oh, that's a nice one. We go right to that match then. It's Michael Shane against Chris Daniels, X Division title on the line.
Oh, I like this one.
This was good. This was good. Feeling you could see the 4 minute feeling out process where they're just like, all right, I don't know you. Let's feel it out. But then when they got cooking, it started cooking. I like that a lot. They were rolling after a while, and I was like, okay, cool. That's good spots. The altar boys got involved. You know, they were in there. Spider Nate Webb was got his ass handed to him. He was not popular well in this one. Shane is scouting.
Yes.
Shane Douglas
is
scouting in the crowd. And Michael Shane hits a great super kick in this. The super kick he hits was great to finish it. I liked it a lot. It was actually a very strong super kick, and I liked it a lot. It went really well.
Wonder where you learned that.
Yeah, exactly. He wins, and then I like this though. He starts beating down Daniels and the altar boys. That to me set a really cool set of tone for him. And I was like, that's kind of cool. Like they're making him like he's not some little pretty boy, softy. He's like, I want it. I'm still gonna beat you down, which I really liked. But then let me get your opinion on this, Bill. Saban runs in and makes the save essentially, but he's still cocky Saban. Is this a face turn? Is this?
It felt like a face turn.
It did, right? I thought so.
Without remembering what kind of happened, but it felt like it.
They really
popped.
The
crowd loves him. The crowds loved him during his heel run. Now
they did.
Hail Saban.
He's the prodigy. He's the Ace Austin of that era. I'm telling you, like the way people take the Ace today, it's the same thing. Down to the curly hair, man. Like this is the guy. It's an amazing comparison, but it's the same thing. The way they take to him is the way they take the Ace Austin today. But you're right though. Like heel or not, they were in for Saban. He was our guy. He's a homegrown TNA guy. He didn't go anywhere else. He went to Ring of Honor, but that don't count.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Jeff.
But Saban didn't wear guy liner.
He did not wear guy liner, that's for sure. But he didn't have to wear guy liner. Chris Saban. He's one of the greatest. But then him and Daniels face off. So that's setting up your. It's a nice setup right there. Boom. Here you guys can go off the races here and see what you do over here, and Michael Shane can go do his thing over here and probably meet back in the middle. So
yeah, I felt that Daniels was more protected than his the other member of Triple X.
Yeah. No, am I crazy? Or last week he said I have to go find my brothers.
And I think we thought it could have been Triple X, but obviously it wasn't. Did he just mean the altar boys again?
I mean,
the whole time.
my prediction when he's getting beat down, I'm thinking, okay, well here comes Elix and Low Key now to make the save. Clearly, I mean, he hinted at. I guess they're stuck in Japan. I guess I don't know, but no brothers showed up on this one, so maybe next week. Now we get the Bound for Glory commercial, which I did screenshot. And I'm going to put that out because I don't think this has ever been put out. Like this is a forgotten trip.
Honestly, I think they intentionally probably, since it fell apart. Like they're probably upset about this part of their history. Like it was out there and it's cool to know for us longtime fans.
Yeah.
But you look at it, they put a lot into this. They thought they were going to have Hulk Hogan. They thought they talk about later about Japan and Mexico getting involved for it sounded like almost like a triple mania under the TNA banner.
Can you imagine? Wow.
With Hulk Hogan. And
03 Hulk Hogan.
And 03 Hulk. Yeah. When we go over the video, it's not much off from the Hulk that went against The Rock.
Exactly. 03.
It's that Hulk still. It's that Hulk.
Jay,
so it's a pretty healthy Hulk still.
It's an active Hulk who's still able to hit the leg drop, right, Jay? Like they show clips of him doing the leg drop. This is an active Hogan who could have had a pretty decent A to B match with Jeff Jarrett here.
He was still doing a leg drop at this point, and
crazy.
Probably. I heard about how many back surgeries he had, and I'm like, man, if anybody told him, tapped him on the shoulder, say back in the 80s and said, by the way, this is what's going to happen to you 10, 20, 30 years from now, you might want to change that finisher up. And oh man, I'm sure he's still kicking himself. I mean, it was a great finisher, but damn.
Yeah, it
Killed him.
Yeah, it did. It definitely ruined him. All the hardware he's got in his back. He showed that. He showed that one picture one time. All the shit like when they had to change the screws and the plates in his back to like fresh ones, and all the crap that came out of his back. Oh,
I'm only 7 surgeries away from catching up to him.
There you go, J-Bone. All right. So now we get the recap. Now we get the video. And this is the video where Hogan beats Chono. He's doing the classic New Japan press conference. And then you get the door opens and it's, hey, Hogan. It's guitar shot on Hogan. Jimmy Hart's like, what are you doing, baby? He's like, get over here, Hart. He throws Jimmy Hart into a door. Like, Jimmy Hart at this point. Now, Jimmy today, I think, is 79 years old. And he looks fantastic. I met him a year and a half ago. He doesn't look a day over this. So this is 20 years. I mean, the guy was 59 years old, well, 60 years old this time. He took a door shot to like, or 59. So it's about 60 years old. Good on Jimmy Hart. Eternal youth, my man. And then he's beating him down. Chono gets in. I mean, and Hogan's bloody, and he's doing the whole like, that whole classic Hogan, the old school thing where you kind of wince your face to get the blood gushing more.
Yeah.
He was doing that classic old school shit.
Loved it.
Definitely nicked some kind of vein because he was gushing. Because he was gushing pretty good.
Well, after he went down from the chair shot, the camera angle goes to, kind of bounces back and forth. But as soon as he hits the floor and he's face down, he cut himself.
Charles in the chat, his was a lariat. They do even allude to that. They even talk about how he hits his lariat finisher, which is his Japanese finisher, but he does still hit a leg drop as well.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know. I saw that finisher. I'm like, why did he use a lariat finisher in Japan? That's
lariat big in Japan.
Very good. He was Ichiban. Okay. He was known as Ichiban in Japan. I actually have a best of DVD of Hogan in Japan. Hogan in New Japan and All Japan. Only those runs. That's it. And I got that.
Interesting.
Very classic disc. I'll bust it out next week. I'll show you guys what's on it. But he was Ichiban in over there, and that was it. Where we at? So this was a big deal at the time. It might not seem like it today, but it was a big deal because it's like Bill was saying, it's what could have been. What could have happened had this match happened?
Yeah. And
Bill, I think before we went on the air, you said something, Bill. Your prediction on this was what possibly could have happened had this match went down.
I think it would have changed the history. Yeah. Because if they had this major show in that year with Hulk Hogan, because you're right, like, was the wrestling world abuzz that Hulk Hogan was wrestling in Japan? Yes. Yeah. Just because I think the TNA thing fizzled out after a little bit. I don't think the connection with TNA was there, so they didn't get to ride much of that momentum.
Perfect.
If they had Hulk Hogan, they're all of a sudden huge. And we know it's not long before he goes back up north. Who knows what happens? Remember, they just bought WCW
2 years prior to this.
ECW. So it's like my guess is TNA probably gets purchased. We probably don't have Impact Wrestling today.
Isn't that crazy? I mean,
it's like the thing that didn't work out was probably better long term for the company.
Bonkers, if you really think about it, guys. Like, really put that out there. And J-Bo brought up a good point. If we need to get Russo back for anything, it's this. To really get him back at 10 minutes, give us a synopsis. What the fuck was going on? Like, I'd love to know what the hell.
Oh, yeah. And I would also love to get his opinion on some other stuff that happened on later in the show. Just as far as like balancing stuff out with what's going on in the company as opposed to what is supposed to happen.
Next week I'm going to shoot to get Vince on. He does his live like his the brand thing that he does Tuesday nights. I'll hop in, I'll ask him, it's like earlier in the night. I'll hop in there. I'll see if I'll just put him on the spot. Hey, can you jump in with us for a couple minutes just later on this evening? So next Tuesday, Jay, Bill, remind me in case I don't, in the early of the day, just let me know. Remind Russo. Let's see if we can get him. I'll try to get him next week. I'd love to get some more insight on this. This is a very
maybe I'll try to contact the Hulkster. See what he has to say.
Hey, Hulkster, Bill. Yeah, no, Bill Gardner. Yeah. You remember me, right? Front row. Yeah.
Remember me from the restaurant?
You remember me, Bill? Yeah, that's me. Yeah. The Moose Vest guy, brother. There you go. Listen, what are you, Terry? Can I call you Terry? Terry, what are you doing Tuesday night around 9:00? You know your time. Listen, want to come on this podcast?
That's Mr. Balea to you, brother.
Terry, can I call you Terry? Now we go to TNA in the ring. He calls out Jarrett. And this is where Bill, he was saying, everybody's chanting Hogan here. The whole crowd is Hogan.
Oh, they're going nuts.
My notes I got written down is this ruins the AJ match for me because now the focus is shift completely. It's like a technicality that you have to have the match with AJ now because now we know all you're doing is bridging it to get to the match with Hogan. You know what I mean? So he talks about Hogan, then talks about Russo. And then Russo attacks Jarrett and beats Jeff Jarrett down for a while, but then Jarrett gets the advantage and then beats the shit out of him for what seems like 20 minutes. Like this was so long. Then Russo's troops come in, make the save. AJ's in the ring just looking frustrated. He's just seething. I wrote down horrible segment and I didn't, it was so long. It's like, okay, I saw Russo's beating him down. And I think right off the bat, Jarrett sold for him way too much. It's still, Russo's not a wrestler. No need that Russo has a 5 to 7 minute advantage on him at this, or 5 minute advantage. And then Jarrett just beats the shit out of him for what seems like forever. Just goes on and on and on. I'm like, all right, guys. Okay, tell me if I'm alone on that, but I felt AJ's in the ring lost. He doesn't know what he's doing in the ring. It's just this segment was so messy to me. I don't know. Go ahead.
It is super awkward. Well, the most awkward part is AJ hemming and hawing, making all those faces, grimacing, looking like he's like arguing with someone in the ring when no one else is in the ring with him. He just keeps, he's doing this and he's doing this like he's like a frustrated 3-year-old that just got put in a corner, And
nobody puts AJ in a corner. That's for sure.
Exactly. No one puts Styles in the corner. Dude, Russo gets beat so bad. This was uncomfortable to watch. I mean, Jarrett hit him so many times while he was standing there against the fence. Like, first of all, he's like, okay, what's up with all the like nooses in the last several episodes? It's like almost like it's almost cringy. So he puts the belt around Russo, ties it to the fence, which I thought was hilarious, and just hitting him so many times to the point where he hung himself with the belt because he was just like leaning and just hit him. Like, I'm looking at the Russo's face, just like, oh God, it's like, it's all right. You can stop hitting him with the freaking chair now. This is not a wrestler that's got, muscles, to protect everything. It's like, no, this is Russo. Russo's not a wrestler, for crying out loud. Jeez. Now he might have had something underneath the jersey. He might have.
He sold it pretty well, though. I'll give it to Vince. He was selling it to the point. I'm like, shit, let the guy go. I mean, come on, he's dead already. Like, let him.
Well, exactly. Yeah, he's dead. In the age. This is what I was talking about earlier, referencing to the whole thing with AJ in the ring, and they're selling this Hogan thing so much. If I was AJ, I'd be pissed.
That's what I'm saying.
It's completely overshadowing AJ versus Jarrett.
Am I crazy or Bill? Does this just make AJ sound on paper at this point transitional champion? Now we're like, he's just bridging it to get to Hogan.
Yeah, I think we always had that worry, but now it seems like it's the writing's on the wall right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like AJ has the more you see
Double J, it's there anyway. But then it's just a Double J thing. It's same thing happened with Raven. He never got the title, but you know when Double J's opening and closing every show, it's a matter of time before he's got the strap.
Yes, yeah, it's heavy, and then it's getting there more and more at this point. So, but you're right. He looks lost. AJ's just lost here. So, yeah. Now we go to the back again with Scott Hudson.
But just before we
yes.
get off the AJ thing, the history will tell you they're going to use the excuse that they needed the name to hold the title. And Jeff Jarrett was the name. But you can't throw this at AJ because he almost has not been featured much on these shows as champion lately. And the shows have honestly not been great lately. So I'm sure the pay-per-view buys have probably been down.
And they're going to
they're really putting a lot into the Hulk Hogan basket right now.
Yep. Yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett's our star basket. We'll see what happens.
Question I'd love to know the answer to is if this match happened, if it got to happen, Hogan was, and I imagine this is a yes because I can't. Don't work for me, brother. If he has to lose, I imagine Hogan was probably going to win the NWA title.
He specifically says he wanted to win the NWA title in that press conference.
Yeah, I imagine he was going to get it.
Yeah, and
that would have been an interesting little trajectory into a lot of things. I mean, it's the one belt he never got to hold. Would have been very interesting. A lot of stuff that would have just been written from this, and I can only imagine. Wasn't meant to be.
For all we know, it was always maybe not that certain of happening. Mm-hmm. And this was just posturing to go back up north again.
Very well could be.
Because if you look at his history, I think the same thing happens in another couple of years in Memphis. Like a Jerry Lawler match that never happens, right?
That's right. Or did it happen?
Did it?
No, I thought it
did happen.
I thought it happened. I think. I know what you're talking about, though.
I felt like he was trying to do these dream matches. Then he did all those ones in Australia with Flair. He was kind of going through these. He was posturing for like big mega matches. And I think it was just to get Vince's attention every time.
I think you're right. When does he go back? Did somebody in the chat verify? After this is 03. We're in October 03. What's his next run up north? I'm curious now. You got me thinking. Well, yeah, somebody find that out. Let us know.
I'm thinking it's got to be the Hall of Fame.
It seems like 05, and it ends in WrestleMania 22 against Randy Orton.
05 is Hall of Fame. You're right. Yep, Mir said 05. Yeah, Hall of Fame 05, and you're right. 22 was probably it. Yeah, you're right. Because WrestleMania 21 was 05 in Hollywood. He goes in Hollywood, which was a huge class. Actually, probably one of our best Hall of Fame classes. And then 22 was Orton. You're right, and that was 06. So I think that was 06. Yeah, that was it. That's it. That's the next run. So he's up there a year and a half after this. So that could be it. Did the Lawler match happen? That's what I'm curious about.
That's a good question.
Look that up. In the meantime, I'll set up the next segment here.
That happened in 81.
Get out of here. Cut his mic. Scott Hudson with the red shirts and Northcutt talks about Watts. He got a match with Erik Watts coming up. And again.
Oh, okay. And I do remember this. This stopped Jerry Lawler from wrestling. And the Big Show took his place.
That's it. That was it. What year was that?
I do remember that. That was 07?
Okay, so that's after the Hall of Fame thing.
Yeah.
Mir says it right here. 05 was the HBK match where Sean just no sold him or over no sold him.
Oh yeah.
06 is Orton. So that was it. Yeah. That's it. So yeah, interesting. All right. So Kevin Northcutt talks about the Erik Watts match, and Hudson asks about Roddy Piper and the interview that's on tape. And Kevin Northcutt pulls out like a DAT tape or something, like a big cartridge. He's like, "You want to see this tape? You want to see what's on the interview, huh? You're not gonna get it." He smashes the tape. Yeah, just go on.
Love Kevin Northcutt.
I love Northcutt. Somebody find out where he is today. I wonder what Kevin Northcutt's doing. One of the biggest missed opportunities to me in early TNA.
If you look at those lists, and I know Keem's in the chat, and he does those. This is one because I think it's so early, people don't even think about him.
Yeah.
But that's a guy, you just look at him, he should have been a star with this company.
And he could
Or
talk.
if not this company, somewhere else. But he doesn't seem to ever go anywhere.
He could talk. That's what gets me. I mean, the guy can cut a promo too. Currently 48 years old. Let me see when his last match. No, he started in 94. Here's his matches now. Let me see what his last match was 2009. And it's like
So he leaves here, right? He doesn't go anywhere after a year.
He does NWA territories after this.
NWA territories.
Yep, he does NWA stuff, and I'm looking at he does TNA. Then it's a little bit of a gap between TNA, does some NWA Texas, goes around NWA Texas, and that's it. He's done an 09. What happened to Kevin Northcutt? I'd love to know where this guy is today. But yeah, he's pretty much not prior to that. He did let's see, a lot of indies around Utah and Texas, primarily Texas. A lot of his stuff, it looks like. Looks like he was a big Texas guy. And then how about this now? He was a jobber in WCW on Worldwide. Remember Worldwide? Fought Palumbo, Robbie Rage, Mike Awesome, Norman Smiley on Worldwide. So
that's a big guy to be a jobber.
I know, no kidding. But look who he had him up against. They had him up against
Mike Awesome. Yeah.
Palumbo, also a big guy.
Smiley, not a huge guy.
No, but he's pretty tall.
But he wiggled.
He can wiggle. Slap a booty here and there and wiggle. I'm dying to know what happened to this guy. He to me is. Oh, check this out. How about this? Funny match. 10/13/2001. He fights Hot Stuff Hernandez, who's later known as Hernandai, and he beats Northcutt for the NWA National Heavyweight title at the NWA's 53rd anniversary show. And that's funny. Oh, wow. Interesting. Very interesting. I would love that. Hakeem, jump in and find out what happened to Kevin Northcutt, man. I'd love to know where this guy is today. Missed opportunity.
Like, he would be the perfect guy to bring on to this show.
I would love to have him on. Like, hey, man, certainly.
Let's get Kevin Northcutt.
I want Kevin.
Let's get our good friend Chris Harris back here. Maybe he knows where Northcutt is.
Surprised? I bet he would. I bet like Harris is like in touch with all these. Like, yeah, I mean, had a beer last week. Some random shit like that.
Swingers Palace.
Yeah, I love Chris Harris. I'm so happy he made an appearance this year. That warms my heart that he was on TV this year. We go to here we go. So Kevin Northcutt with Ryan Wilson and taking on Erik Watts. I wrote down the Watts character is a mess. At this point, the Watts character is completely a disaster. It is like Callis isn't even there this week. Watts is kind of like this director of authority thing. Oh, it's just a mess. They have a match. They show the lower third. Russo's getting loaded into an ambulance. Northcutt gets some handcuffs out, basically brass knucks the handcuffs, knocks out Watts. Northcutt wins. Black shirts run in, try to make the save. They get killed. Don Harris out of nowhere comes in.
Oof.
And the original black shirt security, as Mike today calls him.
Yes.
Don Harris, remember Ron is gone. He's doing stunt work or whatever they said. They announced like 3 weeks ago. He makes, I'm like, face turn? And then Goldie slides in and is over Watts and crying and saying, enough. But I'm like, who are you crying to? He just saved Erik Watts. And she's yelling at Harris, enough. But I'm like, but he saved him. I don't know who she's crying to at this point. I don't know what happened here. This is a total mess. The whole segment is a complete disaster. The character's a disaster at this point. It's a mess. The whole thing's a mess. He's on this show too.
The funniest part of this is when Watts comes out and he's got Vaughn and Santel behind him. Santel's arm is in a sling, still from the week prior. This week, Vaughn is in a neck brace, comes out, waves to the crowd, and then goes, oh. Like, oh, my neck. And then, but he's like all covered up with the fog from the Erik Watts entrance, and so he's like stumbling behind the fog. It's a ride.
Who booked this?
And the most cringy part of this is when Heavy D comes out and gets one of the biggest pops of the night, and I'm like, wait a minute, this guy gets a pop? No, screw this guy.
Huge pop. The crowd like loses it for Heavy D, who was a heel the entire run up until this.
Yeah,
it's like
and Goldilocks. Wait, is that Goldilocks?
And she slides in. Like you almost don't even see her come in. You're like, where the hell did she come from?
No, like, who's this?
I love Goldilocks, but
we love Goldilocks. We love Goldie.
We did an hour and a half with her on here, for crying out loud. We love Goldilocks, but when they put her out there, oh my God, she looks like she literally just got out of bed. Or just came off of an all
2003 hairstyles.
That was that style, J-Bone. Come on, that's that style from that.
Yeah, well,
era.
the 2003. I'm 3 years into my not having any hair, so I'm not.
What does he know about hair at this point?
Exactly. I'm not a Paul Mitchell guy. Damn it.
Good reference, J-Bone. Good reference.
Which one's Jay?
Messy segment though. I absolutely do not even know what to make of this segment at all. But
yeah, she's the whole screaming at Heavy D, like stop what? It's awkward as hell.
He saved her. I don't know what you're asking him to stop doing.
Yeah.
Maybe next week we'll get more explanation on this one.
Hopefully.
we get the bring down tag team match. We get
we get another Bound for Glory commercial.
Oh, we do get one here. Okay,
another interspersed one of those.
Another bumper right here.
Bumper.
We get a real bring down tag team match here. It's
a debut
here now.
Yes.
First, we get Erik from Manhattan, New York, Eric Young, which I thought was funny as hell. From Manhattan, New York, we get Eric Young. Not Dave. It said Eric Young on this time on the thing. And a debut, Bill. Tell them who that debut is. This is somebody I think you've met a few times, I'm sure.
It is. It's that Sonjay Dutt who becomes a fixture of TNA.
And for a brief period, brief period as a VP in the company too. I remember at one point
until he left, he was pretty high there. Like he was, when he left with the Borash Abyss crew. Yeah, he worked his way up pretty high under Scott D'Amore. So.
He was up there, man. I remember Rohit was telling me that the Hit Squad was a Sonjay thing. They brought him in to do that. He was like, I was set for a huge thing with it because Indian guy is like, hey,
they were still using him.
Yeah,
a lot. Obviously, I'm sure that played a part in it.
Yeah,
because that was sort of like when Petey would do stuff in Canada. It was like Sonjay. He worked matches when they were over in India.
Yeah, he won the X title over there. I remember that. That was the big thing. But no, that was Sonjay Dutt. He looked great, by the way. He was like super jacked. Wrestled a great match. They took on El Fuego and Jerrelle Clark, who becomes a fixture in Orlando later on, who's part of that Fox Sport. Now, Jay, you remember Jerrelle Clark? He was down in Orlando a lot.
That name looked familiar, and I couldn't remember where I saw it. I'm like, okay, was he in here more later? Did he show up in another company? And at first, when I looked at him, I thought he looked. I thought it looked like oh, that's who did I think it looked like? Oh, I thought it was like Maven. I thought it was like Maven with a different name, and then I was like, no, that ain't Maven.
No. Jerrelle Clark, but he ends up being on those Fox Sports shows. I mean, he was like, opening match kind of guy. There for a while, though. He was definitely there for a long time.
I'll say this, Jerrelle Clark, active on social media.
Are you kidding? Where are you looking? Twitter?
Yeah, he's at Jerrelle Clark. And
no kidding.
I'm following him right now.
Are you really? Good old Jerrelle Clark. Good for him. He's still working?
So he has a
website, Mr630.com. Is it going to go? No, it's not. That's gone. I was worried where that might take me for a second.
So he was more prominent on the show when they got their TV deal in 2005.
Yeah, he was part of those. Like it was him and D-Ray and got a young MVP was even down there a lot for some jobs and some squashes and stuff like that. But he was down there a lot. He was in those openers.
It's funny. He was active because one of the gifts of Samoa Joe when he got released was Jerrelle getting the Muscle Buster.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So he's awesome. I thought I scrubbed the internet of this brutality.
That's hilarious.
My back still hurts.
That's awesome. Good goal, Jerrelle Clark. Old school, man. This is going back to 03. Good for him.
Now, I believe his partner, El Fuego, is an early trainer of the recently returned Taylor Wilde up in Canada.
No kidding.
So I think there's kind of a connection there.
Get some intel. Let's break this down. Is he really?
Like, I don't think like if you look at like the main things, but I think if you look when she was really young, like when she was first starting, like before she went and like with some of the bigger names trainers afterwards, I believe he was one of the early like day one trainers of her.
Very interesting. Now I don't remember him at all anywhere else.
No, I don't think he does much after this. Because I don't remember him, but I remember that name Fuego, and I know they even said he's from Canada. So I believe he was connected to early Taylor Wilde.
Hey, how about that, man? How it all just ties in at some point. The recently returning Taylor Wilde. Very cool. Very cool.
Wait, that El Fuego, that's not Fuego del Sol's dad, is it?
Yeah.
Father Fuego.
Father Fuego.
Father Fuego. No, I don't think so. Kind of a bigger guy too, huh? El Fuego. Did I see that right? You seem like a kind of a taller guy. He reminded me of that one dude. What's his name? He's in NXT now, a Ring of Honor guy before Punishment Martinez. Kind of looked like him a little bit, like face wise.
Yeah.
Kind of
Martinez, he's even bigger. He's that's a real big guy.
Is he doing anything prominent down in NXT, or is he just kind of?
I don't know. I assume he probably is, but I can't say I follow it that closely to know. I followed him early because he did a lot of indies around here and some of the early Ring of Honor stuff, which I know someone did mention in the chat. That is, who knows what we'll see happen, but they are no longer associated with CMLL. They officially cut that relationship as we see Impact working with all these companies.
Someone said that in the chat. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was a CMLL. They actually issued a statement earlier today saying our relationship is over.
Really? No kidding. So that's officially done, huh?
Well, yeah. There's kind of some tea leaves there. Like a lot of the talent is starting to work a new promotion down in Mexico. So I don't know if that was it or they already knew it was ending. So they started booking some other, and it's a new promotion. It ain't like AAA. But remember, they sign Roosh and stuff. So they kind of took away talent. So who knows? Who knows how stuff was between those companies lately. But once again, we might see maybe Impact work closer with CMLL based on this. Who knows?
I know that Mexico's having a lot of trouble right now with the pandemic. So
I got a horrible piece of news here. So I Googled Kevin Northcutt.
Oh, no.
Horrible. He's on the registered sex offender list.
Is he really?
He is.
You know it's him?
It's him. I'm looking at the photo. Yeah, it's him. It's
was it from 2009-ish? Is that
2010? February 2010. It all adds up, you know.
Okay, so that's why he went away.
Yeah, because he did right around that time. Carnal knowledge of a juvenile. I don't know what that offense means. I don't know what legally carnal knowledge of a juvenile means, but that sucks.
Not good.
That sucks. That's terrible. I'm sad to see that. That's terrible. What could have been, you know? What could have been?
Yeah.
What a shame. I don't know what that charge exactly means, but that's terrible.
Yeah, all right. So no Kevin Northcutt?
Yeah. We hardly knew you.
Your push is over.
Yeah, it's sad. And here we are. I mean, look, putting him over based on what we know. I'm not. This stuff is all afterward. I'm just talking strictly career. Maybe if the guy had a decent push, this wouldn't have happened. You know, shit. Get the guy.
Yeah.
But shit, that sucks. That really stinks. But not to damper the talk about him, but that's what it is. Let's see here. Okay, so but Sonjay looked great, and they win. They win in this one. We get Kid Cash with Scott Hudson, and he's talking about his match. Northcutt interrupts him here. Says Callis wants to talk to him. Now, we haven't seen Callis at all in this show.
No.
Clearly, he's not in town on this one.
No.
And I love Cash. He's defiant. He goes, no, you don't demand to talk to me. No,
He's
I don't.
Notorious KID.
That's right. I'm not talking. I'll talk who I want to talk. I don't have time for you. I love it. Kid Cash is like march to the beat of his own drum. I love that. I absolutely love it. And he to me is fantastic all the time. Like the guy, he's always been written to do his own thing. He's always defiant, always ran his own show. Kid Cash is aces. I love him. Everything they throw this guy in. I've again, another forgotten hero of TNA, of early TNA too, has a big part of the history of the company. And I tag him sometimes in these posts, and he's not too active online, but in the history stuff, we tag him every now and then. I just wanted to know that like people are talking about you still. You are a very important part of the early part of this company that doesn't get recognized enough.
I'm surprised he hasn't, because he was there in Atlanta during the last fan tapings.
Yeah.
And with the TNA stuff, I'm surprised he hasn't done something small at this point. Or if they're just waiting for more of like the No Place Like Home. But he was actually being used for additional storylines.
Yeah, he was. And I think the thing is he has a pretty good he's a pretty good job. He has a pretty good, he's a physical therapist, I believe, or a chiropractor. So one of the two. Got a pretty good day job now. So he's like his career's
Dr.
good.
KID.
Dr. KID. So he's I'd love to go to have him crack your back for you. You'd be like, what the fuck? But no, I mean
smack to you the whole time.
Yeah. And I think he's busy with that. So I don't think he's hanging on or waiting for the wrestling call, right? So but I want him to I love Kid Cash. I think he gets another guy's overlooked, man. Those early Asylum guys are just overlooked sometimes. It hits me. I'm like, fuck, this guy was such a big part of the company. Year one,
ECW for his ECW run,
but year one TNA, he's all over year one.
Yes,
oh yeah,
he is the early X division.
He is, and introduces Abyss to the company. The Trinity feud. I mean, he was doing intergender stuff with TNA before Sammy and Tessa ever went down that road. This was Kid Cash.
Ooh, we won't even talk about that. I'm starting to have strong feelings on the future of Tessa. She's becoming very active, if you haven't noticed.
Mark was telling me. He told me she's posting about training now in San Antonio.
Well, she was doing that, but she really wasn't promoting it. Now she's talking about it. She's starting to like and comment on a lot of her Impact footage, commenting on stuff like Gail and other people are saying. I'm just saying.
Are you kidding me? Whoa, okay.
Nothing specific, but I'm just saying she was radio silent for months. Now all of a sudden,
she's calendar year.
She's probably as active as she's ever been, I'd say, over the last week or two. So, just saying, be on the lookout.
Are you thinking?
I feel something's about to happen with her.
Yeah.
Are you thinking this is a hint towards a return to Impact?
I'm thinking it's a possibility. At minimum, it could be her just testing the waters.
Could be.
Seeing how things are politically. But who knows?
There was an interesting promo that showed up tonight on NXT.
Oh, NXT. Well, that was always the rumor.
Yeah. And it would,
so that could be it too. That's why she could be.
I didn't see it, but it had something to do with diamonds. And of course, diamonds are, related to.
Wasn't there something though, like WWE or NXT, like a year ago with diamonds, and everyone thought it was her, and then it never happened?
Yeah, there was something with that. And who'd end up being?
I don't even remember, but it wasn't her.
Frankie
there was something
Monet.
else with like a diamond. Frankie Monet.
Was it Frankie Monet?
I don't know. But what I was going to ask you guys, not to change the subject, but yes, please change the subject. What is up with the camera angle here? Do you guys see this new camera angle that they're looking up at Scott Hudson and whoever?
Well, they did it with Northcutt just to make him look bigger. I know that.
Look big.
They make
usually what you do.
Tall guy anyway. They're making
Scott Hudson he goes under our shoes. Come on.
But they did this. But they did this with Hudson and Cash, and they're both like the same height. I didn't get it. Like this new camera angle thing that they were doing with all the interviews.
You probably got some hotshot who's like, I got an idea. Let me at it.
I mean, is this Kevin Dunn's first run in TNA, and then he went to WWE and started doing all this?
Screams like some hotshot who wanted to come in and try. Y'all, I got
Scorsese.
Yeah, they hired some new camera guy.
I got a picture here.
Yeah. Y'all, I got an idea, I can shoot this real nice, like he's just a show. Some dude who's like Mr. Junior filmmaker, like we can make Northcutt look 10 feet tall right about here.
Where's Tim Martin when we need him? Tell him how it's really done.
We go from that to Diamond and Swinger with Glen Gilberti, David Young in their corner, taking on Bill Doring and Roadkill over here, huh? Look at this debut now.
ECW Tag Team Champions,
which is very pointed out to us.
They make sure to put out there. I appreciate that.
I did. Yeah. The music they came out to was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it was not good.
What the hell was that? But go.
It was the worst of the Muzak selection.
Oh my God! Where did they get this music? I mean, I can't even tell you what it was.
It wasn't even like the generic ECW music, or like when they had Just Incredible and all.
Right. It wasn't like here, just give them like Metal Riff 18.
Yeah, it was I would have appreciated Metal Riff 18, but it was brutal.
But no, it's cool to see Doring. I like Doring and Roadkill. I got to meet them at an indie here. And I talked to Danny Doring for like a half hour, and it was like one of my earliest, like just interaction with the wrestler. And he's like the nicest dude. Like Danny Doring was super cool.
I think he was still the color man for like as of the last House of Hardcore show.
Get out of here! He was doing that this whole time.
I believe so.
Oh, that's cool. Good for Danny. What's Roadkill doing?
They had different play-by-play guys, but I think it was always Danny Doring.
That's
from
cool.
My knowledge, because I would always see him at the shows.
Really?
So it's good to see Doring and Roadkill. Remember, it's not far off their ECW run.
2 years,
so
year and a half, actually,
or
2 years.
Current. Yeah, and I get bringing them in, but I don't know. We see what happens. They win the match, non-title match.
Non-title.
So it's always we just had this at Rebellion, which I thought about the Hot Shot. I know they're a heel team. That's kind of you almost feel like once again they're about to lose the titles. They say when they're losing on a match like this, they might not lose it next week on with the titles, but it's AMW is coming around.
Oh yeah. Jay, you a Danny Doring Roadkill guy? Did you watch ECW? I don't know if I ever asked you, Jay. I think you said you saw.
I mean, I've heard of them, but no, I'm really. I don't know anything about these guys in ECW because I wasn't watching ECW. The only ECW I watched was the WWE inception of ECW.
What was
I've seen DVD. I've ordered DVDs and stuff like the best of stuff that WWE came out of, like this special on ECW and that special on ECW. I've seen stuff like that, but no, I didn't know these guys were like, I've heard of them, but I didn't know they were a tag team or even tag team champions.
I remember, for the longest time, right, was it Bill that Roadkill only said chickens? That was his only line.
Yes.
He'd be like, chickens. And then I remember that's all he would say is chicken.
Well, he came in almost like different, but a lot like Bubba.
Yeah.
The like it was.
But at one point they called him the angry Amish chicken fucker, Roadkill.
Yes, they did.
Well, first it was Plucker, but then when the Dudleys fought him, it was like he's the angry Amish chicken fucker, Roadkill. And I was like, Like, this is the kind of shit. It was wacky. So fucking wacky.
Oh,
Now, what was the
awesome.
timing? I'm trying to remember the timing of that. Was that before or after the South Park episode?
Oh, this is after.
Yeah, so they were using the South Park.
Yeah.
reference,
Oh,
right?
yeah. That's what it was. That's definitely what it was. So good. A lot of shenanigans in this one. Glen's on count. Tons of shenanigans central in this one. A&W's watching on the outside. The cheating gets countered from the champs, and Doring Roadkill got like the surprise shock win. So they set up you're getting your heat. AMW's involved here. Everybody, it's the tag team triangle of stuff. So, but it's just fun.
I want my pizzles back.
He looked great. He looks great today, like he looked then.
Well, he was definitely favoring because remember he did that big move where he got everybody off. Like you could tell he was protecting the ribs in this match.
Oh, because he had the appendectomy just like 3 weeks ago. Like,
he's
monster.
But he's still going, obviously. So but he was
back in 2 weeks or whatever it was, or a week or some shit. It was waggy. Like he was back right away.
Yeah.
What a guy. Love me some Johnny.
He's hardcore. He's hardcore.
We were a huge conversation went on at AAW this weekend. I'm like, can we book Johnny Swinger? Who do we put him up against? I'm like, I don't even care. I don't care who I'm like, I'll fucking fight
Johnny
him.
Swinger, man.
Johnny Swinger, man. Like, I don't care.
And I'll tell you, it isn't just like for the TV. Like he was on the Celebration and he was fantastic. And
was he really?
It's all off the cuff. Like he's just reacting to things and he brings out those references. And it's like he's like, yeah. And like Rosemary's there, she's eating it up. I'll tell you that. And I guess I don't know. Maybe we're different fans than a lot of other fans. Yeah. But like obviously he pops the boys in the back, his shtick. And it pops, I think, longtime fans. Because I'm sure a lot of the references go over a lot of people's heads. Like you gotta be like 80s, 90s fans to really get a lot of his references.
Right.
So good.
But it's fantastic. He's a throwback. He's the ultimate throwback. Not a fake throwback like the guys down south.
Oh, no.
Only and aren't.
This guy, I'm telling you, this is national treasure of wrestling. The stuff he pulls out in skits, like you just need to make a playlist on the YouTube that's just Swinger. Just so like if you need to just laugh, I would just let it play on my TV. And just listen to it because he's that entertaining.
Yeah, like, if he was doing this shtick, same character up north or even down south with that platform, he may be so over right now. Like he'd be like YouTube views out the wazoo. I just think they're the platform, and it's a good platform for Impact, but a bigger platform. I think more people see him, the more beloved as a national treasure he would be.
Down south more because they got the more hardcore fans. They get all the references.
Yeah. The up north, you're playing the kiddos most of the time, but they just have that big reach.
Yeah. What are you saying, Jay?
It's funny you say that, Bill, because they've got a guy in developmental in the PC right now that if you look at him and his mannerisms and how he acts and honestly how he kind of wrestles too, you'd swear he was Swinger's son with his gimmick.
Bugenhagen guy?
Yes.
Now they changed his name now, didn't they?
Oh, they change all their names like 20 times. I don't even know what the hell they're calling him anymore.
I saw this is the one guy Basil showed me. He's like, you'd like this guy. He's like an 80s metalhead. Yeah. That's his gimmick. And I liked him. This guy's actually pretty entertaining. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, cool, weird name, Bugenhagen. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting name. But I heard they changed it and they just Erik Boogs or something now. But then he's hidden now. Now they've layered him down where he's not even doing anything anymore, from what I understand.
Yeah, they had him come out it was like last year. He was real hot for about a cup of coffee doing that gimmick.
Yeah, and he's done.
And now nothing. Yeah, he's done.
Well, that's the thing, and this is the key to Swinger. He has the history. He can even though he plays a character that's before what his history was. Really, he at least has a leg to stand on, and so yeah, he would have to be involved because a young guy, it kind of looks fake.
Yes, yes. Because
you're 22 years old. Don't act like you're from the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny's, he's in his 40s.
Go back to your cosplay convention at Comic-Con.
Right. Like, Just for context, so you guys know, Slinger made his debut in '93. You know what I mean? Like this guy, and his uncle was Tony Parisi, who was in the WWF in the '70s.
And that's where I'm sure he learned a lot of the references from.
Oh, I mean, he grew up. They said he grew up around his uncle. I mean, that's where he was around. So, I mean, he's part of that era. So that's where this comes from. This is an authentic guy. So I love me, Giant Slinger, man. What a guy. What a guy. His internet connection ain't worth a damn, but hey, I love him.
We still got to get him back. That's on the list.
We'll get him back.
Well, now, how was his connection and stuff during?
Well, he's at the hotel. He was at the hotel for that one. At the
okay.
Well, he's at the arena. They do celebration from the arena.
Oh, they really?
Oh, okay. So
they always do it. That's one of the things about that. They do it in like the backstage interview area is where they broadcast from.
Are they?
So they're like in the arena while they're setting up.
Well, are they all sitting together, or how does that?
No. They kind of wave them in. It's like, come on in. So like they so just like an interview segment in the back.
Gotcha, so it's one at a time.
One or two at a time.
Oh,
like they put out a table and they'll have like Gia and D'Lo hosting 2-person table. They might bring one in to talk to two of them, or bring in one to talk to one of them, or bring in two in to talk to one of them. Never more than 3 people.
I thought it's like grid style, where it's like everybody's Brady bunched up, you know, like
no, like when the fans ask questions, that's how it is.
Got it. Oh, interesting. Did you get your prize pack?
Zoom.
You get your gift pack yet or no?
No, they don't ship it until after it. So I'll probably, although I do have 2 packages here, maybe near the end of the show. Remember, I made a purchase during last Thursday's show, and it's here.
Oh, okay. You want to open it today, or you want to save that for Thursday?
Either one I can do. And I also got something else from Impact in the mail.
Why don't we do one today and one Thursday if you want to do that?
Okay. We'll do the throwback, although they both might be considered throwbacks. So we'll do the throwback. All
right, we'll do one and one. Cool. Let's go on. Let's get towards the stretch here. All right, we got Raven and the Gathering with Scott Hudson, and all sorts of audio issues going on here. They cut off Raven for most of it, but he ties it back in.
This is the one, I guess, where Jay says, was this the one or earlier where the main event's changing?
It's here.
Okay, so this is it.
That's why we missed it.
Right, because Raven was selling it. You missed half the promo, and then Raven exits. CM Punk gets on the mic with Hudson, and they switch camera feed. They cut off CM Punk. I'm like, the disrespect is
it's terrible. They cut like Punk's like, and let me tell you what's gonna happen. Then they just cut him off like video package.
Right.
Like,
and then they talk about it, I believe, as they're going into the next thing, or somewhere around there. But they do mention that and by the way, blah 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 blah, the segment has changed, blah blah blah, or whatever.
Yeah, that's what it was. So poor Punk. But I don't like CM Punk, so that's okay. I never liked the guy. I got heat.
Get Mickey Gale on his ass.
I'm gonna make you a fan, Trent. Damn it!
No way. I've had enough personal run-ins with the guy around the city that I don't need to be. We go to Kid Cash.
Yeah, only besides with Impact that we have to change that stance.
The running joke with like Basil and my buddy referee Nate is like when like I'll hate a guy until he shines with Impact, and it becomes like this whole I changed the narrative on it. Like, you know, it's really great to see Impact reaching out and Punk. I always liked the guy. You know, he had a great future ahead of him in Impact. I wish he would have nice of him to come here and embrace who he really is in Impact. I can't wait to see what he does next. Like I'll hate a guy until he signs Impact, then it's all of a sudden I'll justify everything to no end about how great the guy is, what a great opportunity this is for him. Like it's a running joke here. But
and then watch him put a collection of all the old clips together. And
yeah, exactly.
Hey, I remember this one where they cut you off right before you started talking.
Son of a bitch. All right, we go to Kid Cash. Kid Cash and Abyss. Abyss comes out to a very interesting song.
God.
It's just the bass line of Sabu's music. Did you catch that? Because Sabu has that dung dung dun, 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 right?
Oh, that's
Abyss.
why it sounds familiar.
It's just
Just
the
a bass
loop.
line.
It's just dung, 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 dung. It's like running with the devil. It's Van Halen. Dung, 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 dung. That's all it is. And hilarious. But he comes out. Andrew Thomas is awful in this match, by the way. This
is near the end here. We're getting some bad refereeing in these next two matches.
Call it out here, Bill. If you have notes on it, call this out. This was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Let me see with this one. I really go after Rudy in the main event. But let's see. There's a poke in the eye. I'm just seeing anything in particular I put about. But it's just
he's sloppy. He's all over the place here.
Yeah, I say this is more sloppy. The other one is just, and we'll get it to in the main event, but it's just like so unbelievable. Like it's just timing so off.
So bad.
And it's here too.
Rudy was horrible in this.
Yeah, but Rudy, we'll go in that in the main event. But it's now that you said ref, I can't help but think of all the Rudy spots because they're now imprinted in my mind.
Just a disaster. Like the ref Andrew, and I like Andrew Thomas usually, but here he is terrible.
That's why it's so strange how like an Andrew Thomas can be good, like he can be real good, and then he can be this, and it's all over the place.
Well, it was a mess. Abyss wins, but it was just like the sequence was just all over the place. Like it was just this was messy. Hands down, just a messy sequence all around. But that was it. Abyss. Was there a post match beatdown or something? I don't know if I
after the like he gives them. It's not named yet, but isn't that the shock treatment?
Yeah,
he gives them after the match.
That's right. That was it. They got to send it home a little bit further.
But first, like Cash uses the chair first, but then Abyss stands tall.
Oh yeah, because after the match is done, Cash hits Abyss with the Fuji dust.
Yeah, Fuji dust, Daddy.
Unreal. Unreal. This whole thing is a disaster. This match, not from Cash and Abyss, but the officiating just.
Oh yeah, the match itself was great.
Yeah, they did a good job.
This early inception of Abyss and Kid Cash just selling, just because in reality this should have been over in like 10 seconds,
right?
But they dragged it out, and Cash gets a little offense in, like he gets like the big open hand slap, and Abyss turns and he looks back like, oh shit, it's
like, let me at him.
The long pause and here it comes,
Yeah.
But they know Cash is one of their better talkers. They can't just bury him.
And he's a great. You could see Cash is a great ring general though. You watch him in these matches, he knows how to operate a point A to point B. Like if anything, he's leading this match. He's totally calling this one, And Abyss at this point's about. I think Abyss is a 95 debut. I think he debuted in 95 in Puerto Rico and stuff. So he's about 8 years in, but Cash is a little bit ahead of him on this, but Cash has had more exposure.
Yeah, and remember, we see the Abyss. We see Chris Bart in 1, 2, but then he's gone for 50 episodes.
Right. I think he goes back to Puerto Rico for a bit because he was down there with Dutch Mantel and whatnot. But Cash is a ring general. Like you could see even when the match gets lost. Look! Just you need any proof? Watch the Trinity matches. He makes her look like $1 million in those.
But man, he works stiff. He's
very stiff,
strong styles, especially. And he even says it like, although now with some of the stuff we're talking about, it almost seems like when he first says it's like, oh, I did a little double take. He's like, I beat women.
Yeah, that's right. He doubted me. I beat women. I was like, that's fucking great. What a guy. But you know what? To this day, he works stiffly. When you saw him in Atlanta, he still lays it in. When he's chopping guys, when he had that Jay, I want you to watch Kid Cash's 2010, 2011 run. He is ridiculous. He's doing the bitter veteran thing, and he is just beating the piss out of rookies. Like that whole run.
I probably saw it. I just don't remember it.
He's fantastic.
Because I mean, I was real back and forth with TNA over the years. Like
that was when everybody did like their last run.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these people come back in 2010.
They do.
2011.
It's like a second wave at that time.
Yeah.
Is that what Hogan? Is that well? I know Hogan brought in like a whole fresh crop of people, and like not even half of them stuck around.
That's right before all the Hogan stuff, isn't it?
No, it's after. Hogan's still there. But it's like
after the initial run of his boys.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing, after that, and then the thing is, keep in mind though, like the Hogan era or not, the ratings were you're at over 2 million people a week here at this point.
Oh yeah.
So there's money to throw around, and there's people wanting to come there because of that. The exposure's there. So you have those other guys coming through. There was a lot of people coming through at that time.
Yeah, you may have sent some hardcore fans away with that, but you brought in a lot more as well.
Mm-hmm.
So to the point that they even tried. Well, they to the point that even tried Monday nights for a while. Yeah,
I was there for a Monday night.
Yeah, you went to one of those, huh?
The Rob Van Dam title win.
Oh shit, that's a big one to be at, actually.
Oh, see that I was really watching. That I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Real quick reminder to everybody in the chat, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, give it a like. Hit the like button. It takes like a second. So just more likes, the better. The more it gets out there. So give it a quick like right now. I guess, ever since we started doing that in the middle of the show, guys, I started mentioning that. It helps because these lunatics do go hit like, and it definitely, I've noticed likes
it's as quick as this.
Exactly. See, now that we put it like that, you have to hit like. So thank you. Simon Swinger, Disco, and Young are with Scott Hudson and talking about being robbed of that win. Rematch next week. AMW, you're gonna have a mystery tag team for that deal with you. Hudson's like, who is it? Tell me it's who it is. And he's like, we're not gonna tell you shit, Scott Hudson. Get out of here. They kick Scott Hudson.
Oh, Simon was great. He's like, we were robbed.
Simon's a great promo. Another overlooked. Simon Diamond ends up becoming an agent for the company for almost like 10 years. He's becomes a road agent after this run. He's in the back, and so he's a big part of the. And he would show up on backstage skits and things like that a lot under the real name. They would call him Pat. Pat. Irish Pat Kenny. So they, which I think he does do a run as Irish Pat Kenny in a couple years or a year or two after this. Just a real wind down part of the career. So, but yeah, he's a great promo. Simon's got a problem. If you ever saw that stuff in ECW, Jay, he would do a thing where he'd come out and he'd be like, Simon's got a problem. Then he'd rant about something. Simon says. Then they'd be like, I didn't say Simon says. And he was great. A good part, like a good shining light of that later ECW. So we go to what is the main event. Kind of a weak main, but Slash and Vampiro against the Gathering. It is a little brutal and bloody. It's not long. It's kind of a quick match. And the New Church wins. Raven makes the save, gets in there, kind of beats him all down.
It was very healthy for a guy that couldn't go in the main event.
Yeah, and that's what. And TNA, I think, recognizes that it seems a little out of whack because he's like he's been through so much tonight, and he still has the fortitude to come out here. And it's like classic TNA. He knows. He's like, people are gonna think this is crazy because we just took him out of the main, and here he's running at full force. So sell it. TNA's an artist.
He's telling the story.
He is.
But he even has to get on Rudy during this match.
So let's talk about the Rudy thing. Go ahead, break that down.
So during this match,
yeah,
especially near the end, so probably the 3/4 away through, he all of a sudden he just starts hanging out with James Mitchell, who's at ringside. Rudy. And James Mitchell, he's pretty much just standing there. He's not overly selling, trying to get Rudy's attention. He's just like says a word here and there, but Rudy's enthralled. He can't turn around for what seems like half the match. He's just his back's turned. Like there's moves going left and right. And then at one point, TNA just yells out, "Turn around, Rudy," because I think he just stood there for too long. And then occasionally Rudy would turn his head and then just turn it back again, even though nothing changed. So every big move, you hear the wrestlers going, "Hey, come on." He's doing nothing, just oblivious. And then obviously there's like one finish hit, and then all of a sudden he runs right 1, 2, 3.
It's such a mess.
But it's like not even trying to sell it. Like when I've been getting on Vampiro for not selling. Rudy seemed like he didn't even try to like look like he was being distracted.
Unreal.
Like he was just waiting for Mitchell to say turn around and count to 3. Like he wasn't even engaging in being distracted.
I love James Mitchell in this match because the camera would actually lock on. Excuse me. The camera would actually lock on to James Mitchell a couple times early in the match.
Early, yes.
Yeah, and James, he's like looking around. It's at first it's like, what the hell is he doing? And then commentary would chime in and be like, oh yeah, he's looking around because of what happened earlier in the night with Raven. He's watching out for Raven.
Yeah, that's the story they're trying to say.
Okay, yeah, James Mitchell looks like he's like high or something. It's like, no, he's watching for Raven. He's looking over his shoulder. He's watching in the crow's nest. He's looking around. My thing with Rudy, and I don't remember, I should have written it down. I don't remember what match it was. There was one match during the show where somebody was about to get somebody in a pin, and Rudy dove down and started counting the pin before the guy was even rolled up. And I was like, so then when he ended up like he got to like the 4th count, and then somebody was like kicking out, and I'm just like, what the hell was he doing? He was counting before the guy was even pinned. I'm like, it's like, whoa, what's going on?
I remember, and Bill was there when this happened, in Florida, talking to Earl Hebner for a while, and him telling me exactly. He goes, "I'll never make a wrestler make me, or let a wrestler make me look stupid in there." Absolutely, he goes, the integrity to a match is based on the referee calling it like it's a contest. He goes, I ain't gonna let a wrestler who can't do their part make me look like an idiot. So he goes, if I got to count somebody out, I'm going to count them off. If I got to DQ them, I'm going to DQ them. It's just how it is. And it always stuck with me because it's like, that is how you have to call it. It's the illusion of a contest. You have to call
there was no illusion in this match.
Not at all. Like it's
so and they should have, if this was the rules, like hardcore match, no rules.
Yeah.
That's something.
Right.
That wasn't stipulated here.
Not at all.
Supposedly Rudy was calling this down the middle.
But
yeah, if we want to go with the storyline, he was afraid for his life from Raven the whole time. Well, James Mitchell was. So therefore he had to watch James Mitchell the whole time and not pay attention to the second half of the match.
I guess.
Like there really is a span of 5 minutes of the match where he doesn't turn around.
I know. Yeah, you're right. He's like, he's nowhere to be seen. And you're like, well, what's
He's
going
in the
on
corner
here?
with James Mitchell.
Like, what are you guys doing?
Obviously, somebody was supposed to do something in the like. Okay, the ref is distracted. A, B, and C happens behind his back while he's distracted. Something was supposed to happen. Somebody missed a cue.
Yeah, the whole match happened.
Hey, Rudy, there's kind of a match going on back here. You seeing this? You seeing this shit?
Yeah, like you can sell that for like 30 seconds to a minute. He sells it for way too long.
Way too long.
Or he doesn't even care. Like he checks out and he keeps peeking over his head the whole time. So it's like, and I'm sure he would blame it on like somebody was supposed to do a specific spot, maybe
like a
that he was waiting for. Yeah.
Like maybe he
like
missed
Goldie
cue
earlier with that.
Right.
That dive in. It feels like there was a lot of missed cues tonight.
Now, one thing I could tell, I don't think these TNA refs have the earpiece, which is very prominent today. The earpiece is the classic thing now where they just say, turn around.
They would have said, Rudy, turn around. Because you can tell, I know for a fact when TNA says, turn around, Rudy, he just got fed up with it.
I think they might have patched into TNA to say, tell his ass to turn around.
I think that's exactly what happened.
I think you're absolutely right. I think you're 200% right. That's exactly what happened.
When he calls out Rudy, because he doesn't do it often, is when it's just like, it's so bad. I gotta say something.
And it was like that today. Man, Raven makes the save. He gets in there, and that was that. But I tell you, I was telling my buddy, I was like, I can't believe this guy has a job today. Like, I cannot believe this guy's on TV today. Like, after this shit. This is his demo reel? Forget it. Forget it. I'm not hiring him.
Senior official. Rudy Charles.
Is he a senior up there? Up
No.
north?
Here he was. He was already senior official.
Yeah. Well, there's 2. That's the thing.
Well, there's 3.
Who's the? Oh yeah, the Posey's there too.
Posey.
That's right. Posey's in there.
He struggled
Posey.
as well.
I'm
Posey.
waiting for Slick Johnson to show up. That's what I'm looking for.
He looked like he was on a trampoline in his match, Posey, earlier.
He was so
He
young.
was bouncing. He bounced. He got like 2 feet of air every time he did a count.
I remember I told referees at AAW this past weekend. I told them, I said, guys, because they asked, like, we have 2 new guys trying out, and they said, any rules? I said, you know what? I said, call like this is a real match. As far as you're concerned, don't look dumb. And I remember that from Earl Hebner. He told me, I never forgot that. So any referees I said, you 2 don't look stupid. Anybody fucks up in there, you count them through. We'll figure it out on the back end. But you don't look like an idiot. You keep the integrity of the match, and it makes sense when you look at shit like this. You're just like, the integrity of the match is being sacrificed because we're sitting here 20 years later talking about it.
Yeah, you already were overbooking finishes to add in the ref stuff. It just became a mess.
It's a mess.
And we're in really. This is the thick of TNA dusty finish booking, which they got a bad reputation for. And we're in the thick of it right now with these probably the last 10 episodes.
Yeah. So he's right. Bill's absolutely right. That's where we're at here. So the less ref crap we can have to deal with, the better it is, please. But so that's the main. But we go off the air with the next segment is TNA and Wes setting up next week, but it's a phone call. We get the phone call
from the mouth of the South.
Mouth of the South, baby. And he declares it. Hogan's coming.
Well,
he says Hulkamania is coming.
Well, he says he's coming for Jarrett. Yeah. And then TNA tries to get him. He's coming here to the asylum, and Jimmy doesn't answer him.
No. That's where you keep it safe. That was the one out.
That's where they knew
was the clue.
The I's were not dotted and the T's were not crossed at this point.
You're right. Because it was that's the door left a crack open just in case, and that's where we get it. Jarrett comes out in the middle of the phone call, or after the phone call's over, interrupts it, threatens Hulk.
Yeah, with a mic that doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, it's working.
It's working, but Keith Mitchell in the truck didn't turn it.
They didn't patch it to TV. Yeah, they didn't patch it to us. The crowd's chanting Hogan. Styles comes out and attacks him. They brawl. I mean, the focus is shifted. It's not even on Styles now. Like, Styles feels like third level here because the match now is Jarrett and Hogan. Like, it almost feels like a setup that Styles is going to lose here at this point. But we go off the air with the brawl. That's it. The match is next week. Jarrett and Styles. That's it. And we're going to November 30th for the original Bound for Glory, which doesn't happen. And that's the end. It kind of ends a little flat to me. Then end it's just the focus of that, what they built Jarrett getting this title match to be. Like, he's getting a title. Oh, he worked so hard to get this title match. It's like, hey, but here's Hogan. It's like that meme where the guy's walking with his girlfriend and the other hot girl's walking behind him. And it's like, yeah, that one. It's like Styles is the girl looking at him and he's like, Hogan? You know, like that's what that is. Zach Boniford, if you're ever going to make a meme like you send us, you need to make that meme right there. It's got to be the leering boyfriend, and it's like Hogan's the other one, and Styles is the one looking like, what about me? What about our match? So that's the one to make.
2003, baby.
That's it, guys.
To be fair to that if the Hogan thing just like came out of the blue, that could have had them just totally called the audible here.
I think that's what
that became number one priority. Because look at it, they're building a pay-per-view out of thin air to cause Hogan.
The pay-per-view announcement the week before was like, wait, what? You know, where did this come from? So you're right. I'm sure it fell into their lap, and then I think it fell right out of their lap, which we find out later on. It's gone just as fast as it comes in. This is like a couple of relationships J-Bone's been in back in the old days. Just in and out, just as fast as they come through, they're out of there. Huh, J-Bone?
It was, the bed was a revolving bone.
Wow. So you're saying we're not getting this?
We're not getting pasta mania, that's for sure. That looks delicious. I have not had a pasta Tuesday in forever. It's been a long time. We get back to that one of these days. That's the show. That's 66, guys. That's a lot going on. Not a terrible episode, but just a lot happening. A lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
A lot of feuds progressing. I think this Bound for Glory thing's kind of thrown a few things for a loop, but if they could easily tie it up if they focus it all, kind of right the ship. I guess next week's the telling week. What happens next week is what sets you on your path. So we'll see what happens. But
they've got 3 championship matches next week, so it's going to be
loaded.
That's
a good one.
Week.
67.
So we may have got what you would call a filler episode this week.
It's a setup episode. You know, it's a builder episode. So it wasn't terrible. You had a lot happen.
Yeah,
a lot happened on this one. The execution was a little up and down, but you still got a lot of content, which I can never say they don't try to overlay. They overload you with content. That's not a problem. But that's it. So that's a show. We're gonna go the quick unboxing here. We're doing one unboxing today, one on Thursday.
All right.
So Bill,
throwback.
This is a throw. This is an Amazon package now. Oh, I think I know what this is. This is all right. Open this up. I think I know exactly what this is. And while Bill's opening that, we should play some sound bites or something. I don't know, something to fill in the gap here. You know, what else? What can we play in here? Let's what's a good one here, Jay? I always like this one. I'm a sucker for this.
Bro, J-Bone, listen to me. Man to man. Bro, we got the Brian Alvarez thing going on. What's going on over there with the headphones, bro? What's going on there with the thing?
Jeez.
J-Bone, talk to me.
It fits. It fits every week. Fits every week.
The box is open.
That perfect timing, huh, Bone? Look at that. Look what we got here. Look at this.
That came
ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
A brand new sealed.
Wow. That is sexy.
For those on audio, it's the DVD board, the TNA DVD board game. Awesome. That is awesome.
Nice.
Look at that, man. Look at the Bill. What's the trademark date on? What's the roster going to be? What's the year? This is probably got to be 2010. I'm going to say.
Looking for the year 2008.
Holy!
So we're pre-Hogan. So actually, most people would say 2009 was the -- 1 year. So this is going in to the top year of the company.
I say it all the time. 09 was the year it hit, man. That's what, and it derailed by shifting everything when Hogan came around. But look at unlimited gameplay. You should try to register it online, see if the website's still up to register it and all that too. That's fantastic. Look,
play the game, feel the impact.
I love it. Twitch game night, Bill? Huh?
I think so.
This is great. This is absolutely beautiful. The fact that you were able to get a seal brand new one for a decent price.
Yes. Yeah, I was all in at $16 and something cents.
That's a collectible, guys. That's a fun one to get. I love it.
So,
absolutely
TNA,
love it.
The board game, the DVD board game.
See, people tend to forget. I mean, they had board games. They had several series lines of action figures in the store. They had the ring, the belt replicas. I mean, everything people see AEW doing now as a new company, TNA was doing it. They went through all this. They were in Toys R Us, they were in Walmart, they were in Target. I mean, I personally got a couple things from those stores. Like they were doing it all. So they've been there. It's just what tends to get what gets looked at is that they lost it. They lost that spot. Because in a perfect world, you would. Every year should be a new line of action figures. Sure. I mean, should never have lost licensing. That's what people tend to harp on. But
yeah,
credit where it's due. They were doing all this stuff. They had Bill. You remember what was that piece of merch they had in the stores? It was this was big around like 2010. I think they were called Fatheads. They were like the stickers for the wall, like for kids' rooms and stuff. You guys remember those?
Yep, they were doing those.
The life-size stickers. I mean, kids had them in their bedrooms. Posters and the poster things, at all the shops. They had a ton of merch in major mainstream retail. And like I said, They lost it, but don't be surprised if it starts coming around again. I really got a feeling you got Myers and Cardona in here. You got
Brothers.
Good Brothers in here. You got the partnership with AEW. I mean, they're all friends here. There's some favor to be lent somewhere, and a line of action figures today would be fantastic.
Yeah, the action figures probably next. I know people would say the video game, a new video game.
Game is a big one. That's a tough one though, because the
it's
games
tough. That is tough. They take time to develop, or you get not a great game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Now I like the original game. I had a fun time with that game, and if it would have been even better if it just kept continuing on. But no, I mean, game, yeah. But I think the first step, get those action figures back out, because that's a guaranteed sell, especially in today's market. That's a guaranteed winner. You're
and
gonna
so
make
many
money.
like they have the relationship with that Super 7 that does the Good Brothers figures separately, so they could do something with them because they kind of do customs, so they could almost treat it like a custom line at first. They don't have to go in with one of the big guys and then kind of do that as a first series and go from there. I know they're really embracing the micro brawlers right now.
Yeah.
But that's obviously it's a start.
It's a start. It's a start.
There's no action, so it's not an action figure, but it's a
start though. It's a start in the merch line of collectibles, like that's something. And actually, they've revamped shop, and shop's I'm looking at it right now. There's nearly everybody's got a t-shirt, it seems like nowadays. I mean, Triple XL just got a new t-shirt. So like the shirts are out there. The micro brawls are getting out there. Things are back in stock. We're turning the corner on this area now. This is good stuff. The best thing as fans is buy it, support it. That's the best thing you can do, is just support the brand as many times as you can. So I love it, man. I love it. Slam Zone's asking, do you guys have the Best of 3 Live Crew DVD? They only have made 200 copies. I don't know about that. I have it.
I know it's tough to get on who knows?
I have it. I'm sitting looking at it right now. It's on my shelf.
I know that's always been one of the ones said as people have been talking about, like the tough to get DVDs. Really? That was one of the tough to get DVDs. That one and one of the America's Most Wanted ones, right? I think we're considered some of the tough ones.
Well, the America's Most Wanted one ended up getting reissued. It's on the shop now. It's on the shop now. I remember Bob Ryder specifically got that one put back through a couple years ago after I spent a pretty penny on getting it from England when it was out of print. It's in print now, nicely pressed and sealed. If you guys want to buy it, it's on shop right now. But the 3 Live Crew, I'm gonna look at something. 3 Live Crew. Let's see.
I just don't know if there's many out there. That's the thing. It's just.
Well, I'll tell you what. Man, I guess Fanzone's not kidding. On eBay, Bill, check this out. We got 2 of them, so I'm looking at 2 listed right now. Take a guess, Jay. Jay and Bill, take a guess each what the price is on either one of these.
Rare DVDs, tough to get DVDs.
Yeah, I'm gonna say $100.
100 for Jay.
I think it's probably higher. I'm gonna go very Price is Right and go like I should say 101, but I'm gonna say 150.
There's 2 of them. One is selling for $174.99. The other one is selling for $300.
Oh,
$300.
No, I know that's one of the tougher ones to get.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Used?
Nah, mine's used. I watched.
No, the ones online.
Oh,
used.
These look to be. Let me see here. The pre-owned and one's new. $300 one's brand new. $300 one's sealed.
So that's why they came up with double the price. Whatever one went on that first.
Isn't that something though, man? Holy crap! Good shit. Good stuff.
I think I was looking at Chris Harris's site the other day, and I think he has the DVDs back on his site.
Chris Harris does. Well, I mean, they're selling them on shop too, so they got that one for sure.
Yeah, but I'm assuming you get his signed. Yes,
that'd be cool. That'd be super cool. Yeah, that's awesome. But let's turn the corner, guys. We're getting out there. Now, if they're smart, they should do another run of like some of the rare ones. Like I'm talking a small 50 to 100 limited run and put that stuff back out for the collectors. Just have them get out there. But we'll see. But I guess again, guys, support the brand, get some merch. Now's the time to do it because they have really been kicking it up a notch. Yeah. But I think that's it. Anything else, guys?
No. I don't think so. Unless the Bones got something.
Well, we got Rebellion Fallout on Thursday. So if you guys missed,
big.
It's a big one on Thursday.
Oh yeah, new champ.
Catch Jay tomorrow because I'm looking to you, Jay, to let us know if anything happens on Dynamite tomorrow. So we'll see. But
I'm giving it 15 to 20 minutes to start. If it's not mentioned there, it ain't gonna be mentioned.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Well, I will say this: AEW has been putting some congratulatory things out there on social media.
I saw that
on Twitter.
They've caught up to New Japan.
Yeah. They are doing that at least. So I mean, there's are we going to see it on a pre-taped show? Unless it's a completely separate segment.
Well, that's what I would think. They taped something today or yesterday, and they air it to kick off the show.
Right. It's not. You're not going to see him walk to the ring with the belt. That's completely out of the question.
Correct.
Yeah, so.
Which would be.
I don't even know if he's booked on the show. You might know their card better. Is he booked for the show?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't even know what's on the card.
I'd imagine, but hey, whatever. We'll see what happens. But Thursday, guys. So if you missed our review, we did break down Rebellion post-show live. It is on the channel. Go check that out. It's on all audio platforms. So go listen to it if you want to get caught up before Thursday. But the full fallout will be discussed on Thursday. Bill and Jay will be doing a watch along for the episode, and maybe Truck will be in there again. Who knows? Truck's been hanging out with Bill. So check that out, guys, on Thursday. So, but again, like if you need to get caught up on Rebellion, we got the whole thing broken down right minutes after it happened. So it's fresh.
Hey, if you want to watch, you can watch us all react with Steve from TNI UK.
That's right.
Which I believe has a show going on tomorrow as well on the TNI network. But he was there with us, and you can watch us react. If you want to rewatch it, have us on in the background, just acting like a bunch of goofballs, go for it.
There you go. There you go. But let's get our plugs here. Bill, where can they follow you?
They can follow me at William M. Gardner, Gardner, on the Twitter and the Instagram.
J-Bone, where are you at tomorrow and every day unboxing WCW trading cards and all that stuff?
Oh, that was fun. I did that Monday night because I recently got some WCW 1991 trading cards.
I had the box set of that. You know, I bought the whole box when that came out.
Oh, the whole brick or whatever they call it.
I went to not when it came out, but a couple years after, they had it at a dollar store. They had packs, and I said, "Can I just buy the whole box?" And there was a steel box, and I'm like, "I'll take it." They sold me the whole box for like flat price, and I was like, "Great, I'll take them."
Did you open them up? Did you open up?
Yeah, they're all open. Yeah, hell yeah. It was like you're talking.
I have
like
a
95.
binder with a bunch of them in there.
Yeah, I was like 95. I opened them all up. I was going through. I got a bunch of WCW plaques, and I put a couple of them in the plaques. You know, they got.
Well, you know what? And I don't know. I gotta go back to it. There was those cards you had, J-Bo, from '91, but there was a second series that year, and they called it. I don't know if it was the black ones.
Oh
yeah.
I did a little research when I was like looking up pictures like on Google just to see what was out there. So I recognized some of the ones that I opened up, but yeah, the ones I had were not the black series.
No.
Yeah, whatever that was. But I remember both. I had both of them. But that's one thing. Even though we were talking all the stuff to bring back, I personally would love trading cards, but I know that's a dying thing.
Yeah, cards in general, like the value of trading
to
cards.
A different generation.
No, yeah. But you know what? Now is the perfect time. It is because during the pandemic, I don't know what it is, but cards have blown up over the last calendar year. You go to card sections, say like Target, Walmart, whatever, completely. There's dust bunnies rolling through the sections.
Yeah, I don't know if that's it's strange. I don't know. I don't know if we're talking disposable incomes. I don't know what we're talking these days because it's all over the place. Like we know the video game craze went nuts over the last year and change. I think a lot of the action figures and stuff like that, it seems like all random stuff. So I don't know long term, but it'd be nice. It'd be nice. They haven't done that in a long time.
I got some TNA trading cards when those were out. I got a couple packs of those.
TriStars.
Yeah, I got them. Nice. I got a signed one in my pack. I'm trying to think what it was. I'm trying to think who I got signed. It was like a dud sign though. It was like, I think I got like Relic or some shit, and I'm like, man, that's what I signed.
Relic is.
I think it's killer spelled backwards, isn't
There
it?
you go. Hit the bell.
Oh man, yeah, you can catch all my stuff over that other little podcast called Smash This Podcast, where we're smashing all things wrestling. You can find it on YouTube and on Twitch live several times a week. You can find it on all the socials, the Twitter box, the Facebotch, and that Instaneck. And for your bone on the go, the audio portion of Smash This Podcast, excuse me, is on anchor.fm/Smash This Podcast.
Very nice. Guys, you get me at Trinsberry on Twitter. Also, the show at We Talk Impact, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Just type in Total Nonstop Impact. They come right up. Give us a follow on all those social media platforms, guys. Twitter's are probably our most active one. So catch us on Twitter, but all of them. We're on everything. So come hang out with us there. This show available on all audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. Rate, review, and subscribe, guys. We appreciate all the ones you guys have done so far. Please continue to do so. Big shout out. We ranked number 18 in the Philippines this last week. Last week's Rebellion preview show. Apple Podcast charts in the Philippines, number 18 on the sports charts. Fantastic. We got a Filipino guy on the show. Mark is, it's Mark's people now. They see him and they go, hey, you know what? We're going to start watching these guys and listening to them.
Hey, and his favorite guy, TJP, could be helping that.
TJP, Fala, they're all on there. So, hey, this is a strong Filipino audience here. So, thank you. Good for you. Thank you to the Filipino audience. We appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Number 18 in the Philippines and number 1 in your hearts.
That's right. So check us out there on all audio platforms, guys. Discord link is in the description below. Twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact. YouTube.com/Total Nonstop Impact. ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. Get your brand new t-shirt, get your shirts, including the brand new Owl and Mike t-shirt designed by One of the Dead. Big seller, big hit so far with everybody. It's the new artwork on our banners and everything. So we are really proud of that one. We like that one a lot. The other day, the Rebellion preview, Skull 17, my buddy Brian was over here modeling it for us live on camera. And
he's a model now.
He is a model. I'm a model. And it looks really nice in person. Unbiased speaking, it looks really, really crisp in person. So pick one up, guys. That is on ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. And then give Mark a follow too. Mark's in the chat, but Mark World Order, MARKQ World Order is his Twitter. He had Impact Plus problems, so couldn't be here tonight, but give Mark a follow. And you know what? If you're still having Impact Plus issues, let us know. I'd like to know if Mark's the only one who's coming.
Terrence said he had issues as well.
Now, and Terrence, let us know. Were you a transfer over from Fight also? Because that's what Mark's thing was. So not sure. Whatever it is, guys, sound off. Complain, make some noise. Let's try to get this thing fixed once and for all, and so people like Mark can be on Throwback again. So I think that's it. Anything else, boys?
That's it.
No, hop on that Discord. Keep the conversation going.
Oh, I forgot to mention. TNI UK drops tomorrow. Waiting on Bison. The clock's ticking, Bison. I have not seen the episode yet. You need to get me that episode in the can. I got to upload that thing. So, Bison, the clock's ticking on you. That's tomorrow, TNI UK. Thursday is the post show for Impact on Access TV. We are here. Watch along. Post show right after that. And then every Tuesday is the Time Machine Tuesday. Next week will be number 67, NWA-TNA. So, guys, we appreciate it. Thank you again for hanging out with us. Have a great, safe week, everybody. We'll talk to you Thursday, and good night.